Hey, thanks so much for being here. Welcome back. On this video, I'm just going to be talking to you about the spreads that I set up for a few weeks of the month of July, and then just chat about a little bit about how I'm going to be using those and what's changing. But I did said in the last video that I wanted to share with you my setup or the layouts that I was going to use, and that's what I'm doing. The first thing that you are going to notice is that I am not using the actual layouts that I created, but there's a reason for it. So we'll get to that in a minute. So first of all, these are the stash of layouts that I set up beforehand for the month of July. I do have the first week, I believe, in here. I have 1 week of June, and then the first week of July, and then a few days of the second week of July, and then I switch my inserts to Tomoe River paper from Sterling Ink. I did do a full video on why I was switching it. I did even created a few spreads with you, and it's a long chatty video, but I'm thinking I'm going to be releasing that one just for my Patreons, because it's going to be it is almost an hour long video without ads or interruptions or anything. It is just a raw planning video, really into the whole shebangs of me switching things around. So if you're interested on that, I will be linking that below if you're interested in joining in over there. So just so you know. But for now, I just wanted to show you the spreads that I did set up, and then the ones that I'm going to be using on the new paper. So for the last week of June, this is the layout I was using. I think I showed you this one in one of the videos that I shared with you, where I have my left columns here for my priorities, and as you can see, we're jumping right into it. So yeah, this is my left side is for priorities. Then I had an area here for focus. I did use this area for tracking of different things that I wanted to track that week specifically, and then an area here for reminders or notes for the week. On the right side, I did a quadrant sort of setup where I divided things that I wanted to complete that week in order of importance. So on the left here, we got urgent, important, other, and notes. So, and I actually enjoyed this spread. I do see myself using it eventually. Specifically, if I want to do a week that is very productive and I want to ensure that I'm focusing on the most important thing, or if I'm feeling like I can't concentrate or I'm feeling overwhelmed, this is a setup that actually works very good for that, to help to kind of hone into the most important areas. The next setup, I think this was the first week of July, sorry. So we got Monday the 1st in here. So we got the left column here for my events, priorities of the week. And I think this is very similar to what I actually use for my preferred setup on the Hobonichi weeks, where I divided the left column for just events, important events for the week. And then on the right side, I either do to-dos for today, or a journal, or I do my trackers. So in this case, I just did my events, and then I used this to add different notes about the day. So anything specific that I wanted to note about that day, I added on the right side of this. And in here we got family over, so I just used this area to add a little picture there and jot down a quick entry about that. On the right page, I used it to add my tracker. So the same thing that I did previously, but I just kind of arranged it a little different. So I'm tracking just a few things here. So I got my tracker up there. I got my focus for the week. So these are my priorities. And then I have the whole space down here for notes, which I didn't really have a lot. I just had reminders. So these stars are reminders. And then at the end here, I just entered, wrote an entry about spending family time that weekend. So I just had the space, so I decided to do that. Then the next week is this week, actually. So this week, I decided to switch the paper from this thicker paper from Amazon to the Sterling Ink inserts that are Tomoe River paper with the gold edges. I just love that paper, so I decided to go for it. So that's what I did. So these are the few days that I was here still on this actual paper. And I divided the week a little different. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday in here at the bottom. And then we got to-dos for the first 3 days of the week. I wanted to have an area to focus being more intentional with what I was doing on those 3 days. Although, as you can see, I didn't really write anything on the Wednesday. So, but Monday was a very productive day. So I think that counts. Maybe I did everything between these 2 days. So that kind of worked out. So, do I like the setup? No, I think it's not cohesive. I think it's maybe Sunday needed to be here, and maybe I don't know, I just kind of unbalance the page. It just doesn't make sense after I did it, but I still used it for the few days. And yeah, and then here I had a little space here for just notes and then tracking here. So I just have too much space for notes and to-dos, and it just made it too complicated to follow. So I'm not necessarily going to use this setup again, but I gave it a try, so that counts. Then I did set up a few more weeks ahead of time, not knowing that I was going to switch the paper. So, but I'm still gonna, I guess I'm gonna take it as a testing or a practice sort of thing. So this other layout is one that I do want to try. It's the weeks on the top, or the days of the week on the top, and then an open space at the bottom. So I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we got 2 spaces here for either notes or trackers or whatever it is that I want to include in here. I see myself adding a sticky note in here, and then just adding things that I might migrate to the next week. I don't know. For some reason, I just keep thinking about that because the space reminds me of a sticky note. So I think that might be helpful. That way I don't have to write it again. If there's things that I still want to complete, but they're not necessarily due this week. So that's about there. But yeah, this is a spread that I see myself trying. And then this is another one that I do want to try. It is a little different from what I'm used to, but I saw a similar one on Pinterest, I believe, and I do want to give it a try. So there is the column on the left for priorities, an open space for notes or trackers. I see myself adding trackers in here for some reason, just tracking different things in a separate manner so I can see the data. And then here on this area, it's for journal entries for the day, I'm sorry. So on Monday, I will do an entry here, maybe add a sticker and just add a sentence, I guess, of something that it's that I want to remember about the day, or gratitude entry, something like that. So I wanted to just have a space for a small entry in terms of journal sort of entry or memory keeping for that day. And then here is the area for my notes. So anything that I want to note for the week will be in this column. And if I don't have anything, I might just add pictures in there. So this is, again, a spread that I want to attempt moving forward, or at some point in my the new paper. And then this one is the last one. Here I have the 3 last days of July, and then the first few days of August. And I did added these little dots to kind of differentiate, even though they're different colors, they do look the same for some reason. So I'm not doing that again, but I did want it to kind of have the entire week in one place, even though I am planning on separating the months and the weeks in different files or chunks. So I might end up duplicating these few days for the last week of July and then for the first week of August, if that makes sense. So again, here I did pretty much what I did over here. So it is the same setup where the days are at the top and then we have an open space at the bottom. But in here, I did it the opposite way. So I have the open space at the top and then the weeks at the bottom. So again, this is an open space for anything. It could be trackers, it could be notes, it could be journaling, it could be doodles, it could be anything that I feel like adding on that week. And then that's the last spread that I preset. And the idea is that I will have the monthlies and the weeklies together. And then when I'm done with a month, maybe I can just remove it and move on to the next one. And then it would all be stashed together. So to do that, I have to leave one page in between. So what I'll do is add in the back of it, maybe I could do something like this to do like an entry for a summary for the month, maybe kind of journal around and reflect on how the month went, and then reset to the new month in a whole new stack. So those are the layouts that I presetted. I'm going to keep these with me because I do want to refer to those when I am setting for August. But for now, what I did is went ahead and set up July using the Tomoe River paper. So I have my monthly here, and then I went ahead and started the weekly right after that. So in the week, it's a little different. I went ahead and did first of all, I wanted to keep it simple since I was not duplicating, but migrating. And these are weeks that are already gone. So I don't necessarily need to keep tracking stuff. So I just wanted to kind of highlight the most important things. So I went ahead and added the events on the left, focus area here on the top, and then this open area will be for a journal entry or pictures for the week. This is the weekend that my family was visiting, so I do have plenty of pictures to add there. And then here on the next week, which is the current week, I have the same setup. I just went ahead and did the same setup for the entire month. And what I'll do here is, since we are still on this week, actually, no, never mind. We're almost done with this week. So I might just do an entry here, just add pictures or doodles, or just simply jot down, thoughts and feelings about the week and things that I want to, review or stuff like that. So, yeah. So then next week, I do want to go ahead and add my trackers because I do like seeing the data, when I'm tracking stuff. I love this tracker down here because it reminds me of things that I have to do throughout the month, and it kind of tells me where I'm, where I need to focus my attention to. This is another tracker that's personal stuff and content creation tracking. And then the weeklies, again, like I said, they're all the same. So we have the entire week on the left, and then the open space for whether I want to add trackers or pictures or journal. And then this week, I went ahead and added the last 3 days of July, and I left it open to whether or not I decided to add the last few days of the week that are truly the beginning of August. But, I just didn't want to duplicate information. So I thought for a second that I wanted to restart fresh on a new stash of paper for the month of August. But I do like to see my week completely. So I might just end up writing those few days twice. So yeah, it might not be that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have here. I wanted to, again, just show you the setup as far as the weekly goes and what I'm using and why I switched. What is it that I switched around? There's so much more information on that other video that I mentioned before. So again, I'm going to be linking that below in case you want to just take an hour of your day and just listen to me ramble about why is it that I'm switching and why I'm doing this and how I'm setting the rest of the planner with the new paper, and how I'm liking it and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.